Hello, we are students from Hsinchu Senior High School. In this video, we are going to introduce our research of non-propagation soliton. We can see water waves everywhere in our life. Mostly, they will keep moving and changing their waveform. When they disperse or are covered, they disappear. In 1834, Russell, who was an engineer in Britain, observed a spatial wave. Russell saw a boat go through a river at a port. Suddenly, the boat stopped, but the water in front of it kept oscillating. It became a water wave and went fast along the straight river for miles. From the beginning to the end, the wave didn't change its curved shape and height until it disappeared at a turning point. Russell was surprised to see such a stable wave, so he started his research on it. Because this wave exists solitary, it's called soliton. Soliton will not change its waveform or speed after contacting other waves. In fact, every wave we see is constituted by a lot of solitons. Because every single soliton has different speed, the appearance of all the solitons together change every moment. This is why normal wave cannot be as stable as soliton. Then, here comes the question. Does every soliton have speed? Not actually. In 1983, Wu Junru observed non-propagation soliton for the first time. As its name suggests, non-propagation soliton is a kind of soliton which does not move and oscillates at the same place. Non-propagation soliton only exists in a spatial condition, in a narrow trough, and it needs to be vibrated at a specific frequency. In this experiment, the speaker provides the specific vibration it needs. Besides, surface tension will obstruct the soliton, so they dissolve some soap into liquid to reduce its influence. When everything gets ready, the research team generated waves moving in a width dimension. These waves will quickly form into the soliton. Our equipment is similar to Wu Junru's. However, we use vibration shaker to replace speaker in order to make stable vibration, and we also add a system to measure amplitude. This is the photo of our equipment. We use accelerometer to get the acceleration of trough, and we can get amplitude data according to SHM formula. This is a soliton we generated. We can see that soliton stays at a certain place. This is similar to the standing wave, but they have three different places. First, distribution. Standing waves fill the water surface, but solitons only oscillate at one place. Second, waveform. Standing wave is symmetrical, but soliton isn't. Third, direction. The wave crest of soliton moves left and right, but the wave crest of standing wave moves front and back.
This is our experiment procedure. First, we set the equipment. Then, we use dishwashing liquid to prepare an aqueous solution with low surface tension. Next, set the frequency and amplitude from signal generator. We generate wave moving in the width dimension to see if it will become soliton. Last, we measure the time interval and record the result. This is research plan. First, we want to know how the strength of vibration affects soliton. Second, we measure the minimum frequency that can generate soliton in different liquid depths. Third, we repeat the experiment with different lengths of trough. Soliton only oscillated at one place. It seems that soliton have nothing to do with surrounding water, but the literature shows that soliton only exist in the trough with finite length. So we want to know how trough length affects soliton. Fourth, we repeat the experiment with different surface tension of liquid. It is almost impossible to generate soliton in pure water, but it is easy to do it in dishwashing liquid. which means surface tension can affect solitone a lot. Fifth, we add flow visualization particle and observe flow field. Sixth, we analyze the data and find out the condition for generating solitone. This is our experiment. In this experiment, control variable is amplitude. Independent variables are liquid volume, liquid surface tension, container length, width, and frequency. Dependent variables are the number of solitone and solitone status. We have seen more than one wave in a trough, so we decided to record the number of solitone. We observed that some solitone disappear after a few seconds, so we defined that the solitone which exists for more than 1 minute will be a stable solitone. A solitone which exists less than 1 minute will be an unstable solitone. Besides, we have to generate wave moving in the width dimension before generating a solitone. Let's make it hard for us to recognize solitone in a short time. So we won't define a wave which exists for less than 10 seconds to be a solitone. Next is the data from the experiment. In this chart, frequency is set to 10.1 Hz. The horizontal axis is amplitude, and the vertical axis is the number of solitone. The blue dot means stable solitone, and orange cross means unstable solitone, but it doesn't exist in this chart. We can see that amplitude less than 0.03 doesn't allow solitone to exist. When amplitude comes to 0.031, there will be 1 solitone. When it comes to 0.044, there will be 2. And there won't be any solitone if amplitude is more than 0.047. In this chart, frequency is set to 10.3 Hz, and horizontal axis and vertical axis is the same as the previous chart. 3 solitone appear for the first time here, and there are same unstable solitone. We can see that when amplitude increases, the number of solitone increases too. In this chart, frequency is set to 10.6 Hz. 4, 5, and 6 solitone appear for the first time. Similarly, the number of solitone increases when amplitude increases. In this chart, frequency is set to 10.9 Hz. We can also see that there are more unstable solitones. Let's put the chart together. We can see that when frequency increases, both the maximum number of stable solitone and unstable solitone increases.
Let us analyze data in another way. In this chart, we present the conditions for generating a solitone. Horizontal axis means frequency, and vertical axis means amplitude. Solid dot means solitone is stable, and hollow dot means it is unstable. As you can see, when the frequency increases, the minimum amplitude for solitone generation becomes smaller, and 10.1 Hz has a maximum range of amplitude for stable solitone generation. Now, let's take a look at 2 solitones. It is the same that when the frequency becomes larger, the minimum amplitude becomes smaller. But now, 10.2 Hz has a maximum range here. Now, let's take a look at 3 solitones. The minimum amplitude still has a trend to go down, and 10.1 Hz has the maximum range here. If we put all charts together, what does it look like? It looks like this. As you can see, no matter how many solitones there are, the minimum amplitude has a tendency to go down when the frequency increases. At the same time, the more solitones there are, the higher frequency the maximum range of amplitude will move to. We can also get the conclusion that the maximum number of solitones increases when frequency increases. These are the special phenomena we have found. The first one is combine and disperse. It happens when 2 stable solitones are close to each other. They combine together and become one, and then they will disperse again. This cycle will repeat on and on. The second one is horizontal wave interference. If we generate horizontal wave when solitones and standing waves both exist in trough, standing waves will disappear, but solitones will still exist. The last one is self-generated solitones, and it happens when we tilt the trough. We put a sponge under one end of the trough and turn on the equipment. We observed that the stable solitones were generated without our interference.